It's time for the Ghostfire Media Network podcast show, featuring the stars of iRacing's IVRL and the AOLL. Now, here's your host, the Ghostfire Media Network crew.
Bucks Locotoca with 17 pumps of Farva.
Hey, welcome to Ghostfire Media, the podcast. I'm Larry Patrick.
I'm Adam Wood.
I'm Carl Henderson.
Josh Laston.
And I'm your special guest, Josh Farva.
You do kind of look like Farva from Super Speedway, I'm not even going to lie. Hey, guys, so we got a pretty good show for us tonight. It's going to be one top to beat. It's going to be hard to beat the guest last week. But tonight we're going to have Joey McKinney from the IVRL. We're going to have Kevin Haas.
She's over here playing with something.
From AOLL. And then we're also going to have Joe Dinsmore from AOLL. So it should be a good night. We're going to talk, obviously, IVRL. Talladega, our winner from this week, Mr. Adam Wood, there on that top left. Super exciting to watch Adam grab that W, so we'll talk about that. Another dominating performance by... I can't even think of his name. Sorry, didn't race that often.
Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes in the TNT.
Can't control my car.
We'll talk about that when time comes. And then we're gonna talk trucks again. What a truck race, man! That was a fun one to call. Myself, Carl Henderson, absolute blast. The winner there. We had Justin Anderson. And then we're going to talk Cup. We're going to talk the outlook of Cup. I believe Blake won last week. And then we're going to talk Dega. So look forward to tonight. Anybody got anything a little good for the group?
Nope, not at all.
Nobody? That's what I'm talking about.
I've got nothing to say.
All right, well then, hey, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to just take a quick half second. And we're going to bring in our first guest, Joey McKinney.
Hi, it's Pat Patterson, the racing guy. You're listening to the Ghostfire Media Podcast.
And we're back already. All right. Well, everybody, welcome Joey McKinney to the podcast. Joey, how you doing, man?
All right. How y'all doing tonight?
I'm living. Carl might be a little drunk. Josh will be a little drunk.
Yeah. I'll get there, but apparently Larry doesn't drink anymore, so...
Larry's just taking a break right now. I got some stuff going on at work that I'm just trying to clean my system and get myself right for. So, it'll be back. It's just, right now, just even keel. But anyways...
Post 420, he's doing a flush.
It's definitely a flush, man. Well, not because of that. I don't do that. But, hey, man, so real quick, Joey, give us a little talk, man. Your number, what you race, who you race for, the league. Give us all the little deets.
So, yeah, I'm Joey McKinney. I'm from Chesterfield, Virginia. I raced the number 18 Broughton Kennels Chevrolet for the IVRL Buck Kicker Series.
Excellent. Well, speaking of the Butt Kicker Series, this week, Talladega. Remind me, where'd you finish at?
I think it was 8th.
8th?
I think I finished 8th, yeah.
Solid run. I also heard you were the sacrificial lamb, though.
Yeah, I was. Everybody, I looked up all of a sudden, everybody was gone.
I had to do the opposite of what you were doing, man. We ran about 8 or 9 laps, and I was like, we're going to need some fuel. I ducked in and brought the whole field with me.
You did. I looked up and everybody was gone. I was thinking I could make it to lap 75 and everybody, I knew I had to pit one more time and then
I was shooting to lap around 80. That's where I wanted to be. Like, I think that would have been a good happy middle because the caution came out right at 75-ish, and I barely made it to the line. So I was hoping to, go at least 80 because I think we pitted on lap 76 and went green on 79. So, yeah, that's where I wanted to come in. But somebody wrecked and, threw us off.
What? I said love you.
Hey, Nick, you may want to mute yourself in those situations.
No, man, we love you too, Nick.
No, hold on. Wait, hold on. Mike's not right. Hold on, that's why. Hold on. Wait a second. Wait.
There you go.
Yeah,
There we
we go. That's just enough for me. I didn't do anything. Hey, can we just, forget the last 5 minutes? That's yeah.
Nope, we're not.
Shut up.
So, Joey, I was back there behind you. I was pushing you. I was trying to save as much gas behind you. I knew it was great when I was up there at the beginning, and then I was happy as hell just to push you, man. I was going to keep going to the end and see how it went out, but it didn't play out that way. But how was it feel to be up in front of the crowd and be able to lead the charge there for probably about 15 laps or so?
Yeah, I think it was about like 12 or 15 laps, but it felt good to be up there in the lead in front of everybody else, Causey and Converse and all of them.
Yeah, and then we all had Discord issues. So, everybody was, it was a strange night. Discord decided it want to take the shit like 3 or 4 times. And it threw a lot of the bigger teams that actually had teammates out there racing. It threw them for a loop because the communication was there, then it was gone. You had to wait till a caution. If you had triples or something like that, you might could pull it up while trying to drive down a straightaway or something and get yourself back into it. But, that played into a little bit of a confusion there for Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think you're right, because I know there's a few guys out there that have live spotters whenever, they're racing. So I think that screwed up a few of the people out there.
Wait, people actually have dedicated enough friends to spot for them live?
Yeah, that's there's actually a prize.
They take it seriously in this league, man. They were out there having their friends spot. I had another guy. He was I couldn't recognize the voice, but he was in a general chat with me whenever I would pop in and out when Discord was up. He blew his engine in the first race, but he was there talking with me and just hanging out with me. He's like, I got nothing better to do, so I'll hang out with you, man.
I only practice on Tuesdays. I'm available for hire for spotting duties. More than happy to. I actually enjoy it.
If you're available on Tuesdays, you'll always be the third guy in the booth.
I don't like that kind of dedication.
We get enough of you as it is, Nick. We ain't trying to hear you have a heart attack.
Hey, listen.
He's already there.
Tuesday, you guys are trying to murder me. I don't know. The old adage, you can't win it on lap 1. Well, you can't win it on lap 1 of the next stage as well. The second stage, you guys completely went insane for the entire 25 laps. There was no holding back. What was it like from your point of view being out there?
Yeah, they were. We were running. It was a push to the second stage there to guy, and I finished. I got some pretty good points in both stages actually first time this year, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of that, you haven't had the most fantastic season. You're in the playoffs right now. Actually, hold on, wait. No, everybody who's won is in the playoffs already. They'd be in the playoffs on points. So yes, we were sitting 15th right now. You're about
13th.
18 points above. Well, before the last race, the new points aren't up yet. So
he's in 13th right now. He actually moved up 2.
Where did I miss?
You missed it.
Did I miss the new points? Okay, let me shut up. Okay.
This week.
All right, so you're in 13th, but you're only about 42 points above the cut line. So with the season you've had 1 top 5, 2 top 10s. Has it just been bad luck, or has it just been, some of these tracks haven't agreed with you so far?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think I've had some bad luck this year. My biggest thing is try to stay away from everybody else. I get caught up in everybody else's mess, especially like last week at Talladega. I was running, we were sitting there running, I was running the low line, and all of a sudden I got door slammed in the right and got sent through the infield. And that seems to be the whole thing this whole season, is getting caught up in everybody else's mess.
Well, I'll tell
I
you
feel
what.
you on that one.
So that must be a McKinney family thing. You and Cody continuously get involved in everybody else's shit. Every single week, the 2 of you are running decent. Every single week.
We knew. I knew that his brother had to be there. I had this sneaky suspicion you was about to get mean mugged. Hey, I feel like they're about to cut your paycheck, buddy. Like, don't expect one next week.
Well, no, I'm sitting here like you guys continuously are fast. Both of you are fast in qualifying and practice. You get into the race, you run up, in the top 10 in the first stage or right outside the top 10, and then every single week, like clockwork, halfway through the second stage, there's a caution, and either one or both of you are involved.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. We're always getting in somebody else's mess. And,
Usually Adam Woods.
Cody's he's had the worst luck this season. Getting caught up in everybody's wrecks. I know he might have caused a couple of them, been his fault, but I know most of them he's just wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, or you just get left out at the high and dry there at Talladega, and you kind of odd man out when it comes to the fuel run.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got caught up in that. I think I lost maybe a few horsepower on that door slam I think it was right before the first stage when that came out. But yeah, I mean, we ran up front. You was pushing me for probably about 15 laps at him. And if we was in the draft, we could have stayed. We could have been good, but I had a pit. I ran out of gas. I told you I was pitting there.
I was counting down the laps. Like, I'm sitting there, I was like, how many laps were we out? Because I was like, he's got to be coming up here soon. I was like, okay, I'm coming down to like 10 laps before I have to pit. He's got to be pitting here pretty soon. And then you dive in, and I think, like 2 laps later, there was a caution flag that was thrown?
I think it was on that same lap because I pitted on lap 75, and I came down, and as I was leaving pit road, the caution came out. And I told Cody that saved me because if that caution didn't come out, you were blew right by me.
Oh yeah, you had nobody to pit with. I mean, since we all came in, the whole entire pack came in. Nobody needed to come in with you, so you were basically high and dry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Joey, so what Adam just said makes his win even more improbable. The fact that you made him do math in the car and he was able to.
Larry can attest to this, that I'm the team strategist for FRR. I will come up with all the different variables and different ways to do it. What would happen if and then, if we go green, if we get a caution. I play all the different variables out for our team to try and create that. Tuesdays, I don't have a team. It's me. So I have to do all this shit in my head. And it's just, I don't have anybody to bounce off these ideas off of.
It explains so much about your finishing positions now.
Yeah. Last couple of weeks we had Charles. Charles has been in there. He left me on the last Tuesday night, but the previous 2 Tuesday nights, he's been in there. I've been talking to him, so at least I have somebody to talk to. It's a long race.
You should import First Response Racing into the IVRL.
Well, I tried. You see the guy next to you, or kind of near you, Larry, when he was on the team, he was like, yeah, I'll run, dude. Hell yeah, I'm running. Dude, that's way too long. I ain't doing that.
But he knows that me and Randy always call out anybody from the AOLL who does anything stupid over there. So, we always pick on you.
See, that's not never what bothered me, right? Like, I don't mind running in the back. I've run some races with those. They're fast. And that style of racing with no fast repairs, it's a completely different ball game. You're going to be way more conservative than you're going to. You don't want to mess up your race. You don't want to screw up somebody else's race. So you're a lot more conservative over there than what you would be saying AOL. We got fast repairs, right? But once I found out it was 60% races, I was like, broadcast one night, we were doing this, doing that. My wife's going to kill me if I'm on this game for 3 hours. So I was like, you know what? Let me pick and choose my fights. And I ended up not doing it. And then I ran the duel at Daytona, which was a blast. But then I ended up not running that one. It was funny because I took the Wednesday truck league off, same reason, so my wife doesn't kill me. And then Carl hits me up and says, hey, man, let's broadcast the league. And I was like, screw it. So I've been trying to milk that one over. And she's pregnant. So, that just amplifies everything with her.
Your wife's going to kill you one day, so you might as well enjoy your life before she murders you.
Exactly. There you go.
I jump out of airplanes, man. I enjoy my life every day. All right.
So, Joey, I've asked every other person from the IVRL that's come on here the same question. So I'm going to ask you the same question. What made you get into racing? And do you have any real life experience?
So me and Cody, we've been pretty much around racing our whole lives. Our dad used to race up at Southside Speedway here, local track 5 minutes from where we live at when we was younger. we grew up watching NASCAR.
We get a visual aid in the process.
Hey, I like that. I like that.
It's like a human PowerPoint, is what Cody McKinney turned. Put next slide on. Let's see what else he comes up with.
And, you know, we used to, before all this pandemic stuff hit, I mean, we used to have, there'd be like 12 of us, my family, a couple of the neighbor family friends. We'd go to Richmond, both April and September races in Richmond every year. Then like the memorial race at Charlotte, the Coca-Cola 600. I mean, we went 10 plus years to that every year to that. So, I mean, I've been around racing my whole life. I grew up Bobby Labonte fan when I was younger. Watched him until he stopped racing and became a junior fan. Till he retired.
That's a good improvement right there.
Yeah. I mean,
champion for one of the greatest drivers who never won one.
I mean, I give you the Bobby Labonte. I won't give you the junior, but yeah, I'll give you the Bobby Labonte.
It's okay, Larry. You're probably like a Casey Mears fan.
You should probably smack yourself.
No one wants to hear from you. You're probably like a Casey Mears. Maybe, you know what? I bet you loved Casey Kane.
No.
You probably looked at his abs and went, wow, I wish I had abs like that.
You know what?
You're really tempting him to show off here, and I do not want Church City coming up tonight.
Larry's not drunk enough.
Larry don't drink right now, so there's that.
He drank enough in the first few episodes to make up for it.
I'm still drunk from the first few episodes. That's why he's drinking.
I still stand.
I feel like Ricky Bobby here. I don't know what to do with my hands.
We'll just get you a sign that says Big Red. Chew it or fuck you.
Chew Big Red, fuck you.
That was in no way of an endorsement to Big Red unless they're paying me. All right.
I don't even know if Big Red's still around.
But I mean, I enjoyed the week at Talladega, and there was a lot of different action going on throughout the whole entire field. Everybody's getting used to this new draft package that they got going on. I for one, I think I've somewhat figured it out, and I know how to manipulate it no matter if I'm at the front of the pack, number 2 or number 5. We were coming to the end of stage 2. I think we were last like 15 laps or so in stage 2. And the outside kept going. Greg Holt, Causey, Patrick Gaspar, and somebody else. They kept trying to do it. We had about 4 or 5 cars stacked up on the inside. And I would lay back just a little bit on the last guy. And when the outside line came, I could push the whole entire inside line. And it was awesome being able to do that because as they were inching up, I would lay back and I would push the bubble and push the inside line and kept going. And the outside line couldn't do it. So it's going to be interesting of me whenever I'm going to have to be on the outside, though, and try to figure out how to manipulate it. It looks like you're going to have like equal amount of cars on both the top line and bottom line to make it work. You can't have just 2 to 3 cars to make it work like the old draft package.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about this track package. I definitely love the old track package. You can get right up on somebody and push them right along. And this one, someone comes up and bumps you, you're getting a little squirrely there and a little sketchy.
As the leader, I found out I could manipulate the whole entire line and save a ton of gas to be able to finish. I found that out. I was going about 3/4 of throttle for the most part, and the guy behind me, he's doing his best to stay off me and doing it. I would wait till that bubble kind of pushed up, and I would go 3/4 throttle, let it drop back down, and then I'd gun it just a little bit and try to keep that even space, and was able to save enough gas. It hiccuped right as I was coming to the line. Literally, I went back and watched the little bit so I can get some screenshots, and you can hear the engine right as I'm about to approach it, like 5 feet from line. The engine goes and just starts stuttering. I'm glad that's where the finish line was, and not another 5 feet. Greg Cole would have won.
Yeah,
I mean, it could have been at a normal.
I watched the replay of that, and I think that was the closest finish we had in the series so far.
And I'd be lying when I watched that, obviously live, and you took off on that outside. I was like, there ain't no way. He's not pulling this off. There's no way. And if you look right off that corner, I was like, he's pulling on him. There's no way Adam's pulling this off. And then somehow here you come just creeping your old butt around him, and I was like, get out of here. And
you got to shoot your shot, man.
You shot your shot, and it worked out for you, man. I got to know, which McKinney pushed you around the track?
The one that's not in screen, Cody.
Okay. The one that's not in screen probably.
The lead there first.
Say it again.
Cody did.
Man.
I'm not gonna lie that I wouldn't have pushed him around. Like you guys are so nice to push him around because what are the odds? Finally, your first win, man, you ain't got enough gas to do a freaking burnout.
Dude, it's a long ass track. No matter what, like it's a 2-mile track to try to get back around. I read all gas on it had to go another 2 miles. That it ain't happening.
Yeah, you'd have been hitting that little reset button and.
Oh man! As soon as Cody spun me, I'm sitting there in the interview. My car's just going nin 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 nin, just trying to crank up 24/7. Like, shut up.
Oh, man.
I was gonna say, Adam, you actually probably do have Joey to thank for actually giving you the gas to make it to the end when you were pushing him the whole way.
No, so that was we pitted after that. So coming to right after stage 2 ended, we started back. We got about 8 or 9 laps in. There was a caution. We all went in, but him, and he stayed out. So he had to pit a little bit earlier, around lap 75. And there was another caution that came out 78. I was the point man from that point on, from lap 75 until probably about 95. Greg Holt finally was able to get the outside lane to jump in front of me, and I was praying that somebody would so I could save gas. And at that point, when Greg Holt jumped in front of me, nobody could make the outside lane work. So I was at half throttle to 3/4 of throttle all the way until the last lap. And going down the back straightaway, I let Greg Holt get out in front of me, and I gunned it going into turn 3, so I'd have a run coming off of turn 4. That's when I made my move.
So, real quick in the comments, Cody did say that he had to give you some kind of burnout. That's priceless. That's a good one. And I just want to clarify something real quick. My favorite driver was Jeff Gordon. All right, that's why I was originally 24. Couldn't wear the pants because I couldn't hack it. So I went to 25. Brian Vickers, who was my second favorite driver because he was that mid-pack guy. So
here's the question. Did you watch him have his teammate take him out in the Pro Invitational this week?
I did not. I don't watch a whole lot of NASCAR nowadays. I'm more
of perfect. It's iRacing, and it's like
more of that traditionalist, man. I like the 90s. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Where are you guys running next week?
Kansas, I think, right?
Yes, sir. Kansas Motor Speedway.
It's one of those K tracks.
Mm-hmm.
It is Kansas.
Kansas or Kentucky.
It is a track that is probably going to be completely boring and dominated by like 3 people because that track has one line, and once you get stuck behind somebody, you can't.
I don't know this dynamic groove, man. It might open it up.
Joey,
it's a terrible track.
Are you going to dominate?
We'll see. I don't know. I think big thing is going to be saving tires out there. And I think that's one of the things I got to work on too, is saving tires and finding getting my right braking points and all that. I love plate races. I'm good at short tracks, but when it comes to the 1.5 miles and stuff like that, I'm a little on the downside of there.
I got to know if it came down to it, and say you guys, it's a breakaway. And it's you and your brother, and you're side by side, and you're coming through turn 3, getting ready to go into turn 4. And you were on the inside, but your brother's come on the outside. Do you reckon for the win?
I'm putting his ass in the wall. He already knows that because he do the same thing to me.
There's no motors there.
I had to stir that pot.
And that's the thing too. This last race at Talladega, I noticed with the new package. I know the side drafting that got a lot better too. Because that kind of worked out in my favor a little bit during that race.
Yeah, it definitely looked like the side drafting was working really well out there, which is awesome. I mean, and I think that's one thing that I'd be glad that they get right if they can get that side drafting going, because I mean, it's helpful when you're out there by yourself, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's easy and it works good, but you got to have good, clean racers that will allow you, that's not swaying back and forth, because you got to kind of get close to the guy on the inside and then kind of veer away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets a little scary there when people can't hold it, when people don't know how to hold the line, and they get a little wavy there going into turns.
Yeah, every so often, you know, the turbulence will make that happen, but there's some people that, you know, that they just the drunk driver out there.
Right?
You get those every now and then. As Carl takes a drink of his whiskey.
He's not alone.
I'm not driving, so it's cool.
Fair enough.
Well, this is not red wine, because apparently I'm going to get shit for that for the rest of my life.
No.
No, it's just really the fact that you drink rosé while you're broadcasting.
Hey, did anybody just see Joey's face when he heard that?
He's got to be the upscale.
Oh man! Hey, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna defend Nick in this. A real man will drink whatever he needs to drink to get drunk. All right, I don't care what it is.
It wasn't even about getting drunk. It's just about relaxing.
All right, well, whatever, man.
You needed it this week.
Hey, like I said, I can't tell you how many times I've ran out of beer and I went down into my cabinet and just started pulling anything and everything that was out of there that was liquor. You know.
Hence why there was an empty Truly can behind me earlier.
All right, let's go into it. So we'll start with Nick. Who do you have for next week winning?
Greg Holt.
He's a solid pick every week.
He's gonna finally break out from behind that. I'm Joseph Kazi's teammate thing. If Christian Converse shows up, though, if he shows up, because he hasn't been, I know he has stuff that he does on Tuesdays. If he shows up, Christian will probably battle him really hard along with Joseph, but I think Greg's probably going to pull it out.
I mean, he was close. He was 2,000 seconds away from a victory last Tuesday night.
I don't know if that irks him more that it was to you, or that he at least finished ahead of Joseph.
I know. He was really upset that Joseph ran out of gas there coming across the tri-oval. He was really upset.
Like you can prevent that. I mean, you tried, you know.
Well, he lost the win because of it, because Joseph went with him but not me, and he was going to push him to the win. But then his partner went away, and then I started side drafting his left rear, and I pulled ahead of him at the last second.
Oh man! Hey, I gotta know. Patrick's still the one with the dude wipes, right?
No, that's Harvey.
Harvey. Then I gotta go Harvey. Dude wipes all day.
All right. So I just from everything I've been seeing, being a new fan of the league, looking at this kind of track, I'm actually thinking we're gonna see Ira get a good run in the intermediate.
Ira's been running up there. He's been being pretty consistent.
He's got some bad luck on a few of the tracks, but he's always looked strong on the intermediates.
Yeah.
All right, what about you, Joey? Who do you got? Who are you picking?
Call your shot, man. Take yourself. Call your shot.
I did last week.
No judgment. We do it all the time. Adam did it last week.
Well, if I call myself, I'm going to end up screwing myself, you know.
I mean, Adam called himself last week and he won.
And then I think a week or two before that, I called Greg out and he won.
I'm going to have to... even though Cody's my brother, I'm going to have to say Cody. Probably I'll take Cody's pick, because Cody's pretty good. Cody's pretty good on the 1.5 miles, you know. As long as he can stay out of everybody else's stuff, he can run consistent, and he's one of the top dogs up there. So, yeah, I think I'm going to pick my brother on that one.
Dang.
Is he over there with a knife pressuring you to say that?
Is he threatening you off camera?
I just screwed him.
Blink twice if you're in danger.
Blink twice if
No.
Oh, man.
What truck are we at this week?
Kansas.
Kansas.
I'm gonna go with Will Cannon.
That's another solid good pick.
That's a good pick.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to agree with Joey. I'm gonna go with Cody. Cody's been solid on these mile and a half. Harvey, somebody already picked you. I'm not picking you.
Dude wipes all day. All right, Harvey.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Cody. Cody's been strong. He's always up there, but his bad luck has been eluding him from actually picking up the W. I say, he's gonna rub his magic rabbit's foot, and he's gonna win it.
Hey, Harvey just said Kansas is his favorite track, so I think I've got the leg up here. Harvey, I did pick you. Bring it back. Watch. See that I picked you. When you win, I want some dude wipes. But
or if you just finish, he still wants some dude wipes.
He still wants Either way, he wants some dude wipes.
Either way, free dude wipes. That's a good day. All right. Hey, man, this has been a blast, Joey, man. We appreciate having you on, and we definitely going to have to get you and your brother on sometime together.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. It's been an honor being on with y'all.
Absolutely, man. Hey, enjoy the rest of your evening, man.
All right, you too. Thank you.
All right, guys. That was Joey McKinney, man. I tell you what, after getting to talk to him and his brother, I kind of wonder if they're twins. I mean, they really, they give me that same vibe, obviously being brothers. It kind of, outside of looking almost identical too, by the way. Just I know his brother's listening, but yeah, I'm waiting to see which one says the other one's uglier. But anyways, all right, man. Well, we're gonna get ready to take the shift. We're gonna switch gears, get ready to head to the TNT series. I can't wait for this one. This one's gonna be juicy.
Hey, I got a question. Do I sound better?
No, you sound really, really low. I can't hear you barely at all.
Turn me up. You probably had me at 50 because I was really loud before.
Oh, that's a good point. Well, I will fix that.
We have turned you down
Yeah,
significantly.
that's right.
We have to fix some things.
Actually, you're at 100%. Most people are at like 140. Talk now.
How about now?
Yeah, a little better.
I did a lot of adjusting.
Now?
I don't want to know what you're doing off camera.
Me neither.
Justin, actually, I followed Joe Dinsmore's suggestion, and I went and downloaded voice meter.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, so we're gonna take a break, listen to our sponsors real quick, and then we'll be back, and we're gonna talk TNT.
For 20 years, the Guitar Attic has been your home for used and vintage guitars in the Daytona Beach area and at GuitarAddict.com. The Guitar Attic is your home for used and vintage guitars. Whether you're looking for that collector's piece or that beginner piece, they've got you covered. With names like Fender, Gibson, Gretsch, Ibanez, Martin, Taylor, and much, much more, the Guitar Attic has all the guitars you need. And bass players, they haven't forgot about you. They've got all the top names. Amplifiers from Friedman, Victoria, Fender, Boss, and many, many more. They also have the largest selection of used pedals anywhere in the Southeast. The Guitar Attic, located at 1672.5 Ridgewood Avenue, just north of Flemish in Holly Hill, Florida. Also, check us out online at GuitarAddict.com.
All right, and we're back. All right, we are to the TNT series. Let's see here. Iowa Speedway. Couple quick early cautions. I think, 2 cautions total?
No, last night. TNT.
No, we're talking TNT. It was Iowa.
No, you're right.
There were no cautions.
You're right. No cautions last night. There was that small incident very early, right off the start, I think within a lap. But the driver gathered it back up, and that that race went green flag the entire time.
Was that Dave? Was that Dave the one that spun through the grass? But didn't bring no caution.
I don't remember.
Gary Winters, a 66.
Yeah, you're right. It was Gary Winters.
3 or 4 laps in, coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, I went to the grass.
That sideways went through the grass, single car spin. I think he did like a 360, but he was by himself, so they didn't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, and he gathered it up, didn't have any adverse effects on anybody, and
I know he hit the wall,
but again, it's not dropping debris on the track. There's nobody in danger. He gathered back up, keeps going. No caution. I mean, it was a good play. No caution, and no cautions the entire race. We did have 2 blown tires last night, which was wild. Blake Ziti, aka now Pasta. If you watched the broadcast last night, Blake Gordon called him Pasta, and I love that nickname, mainly because I am a carbaholic, so I love pasta.
Is that why you're on a cleanse?
That's got somewhat to do with it. You know, you want to eat certain things, man. You gotta sacrifice something else. But anyways, and then John Gordon, both blue tires late in the race. We didn't see any more issues with tires, which was pretty wild. Obviously, no pit stops needed, and another dominant win for Sean Hayes.
Yeah, it was pretty uneventful.
So let's talk about the tires part of
let's
that
talk about
whole
tires.
thing.
Okay.
Before we get into that, so both Carl and I, when we were in practice on Tuesday, our very first stint, you run until the tires die. And Carl, I think you went close to 90 laps before you were.
Yeah, I was at 90. I think my tires never blew. I think I came in the pit and they were still at like 60-some%. Which, of course, if they were getting hotter, they would have started. You know, the integrity would have started draining quicker. But
that's you running your preferred line, though. That wasn't you in traffic as much.
Yep.
Exactly.
But
for the most part, I mean, obviously, I was having to get out there with some people, and because I was on the open TNT practice, so
yeah,
I was having to occasionally get on my line and that sort of thing. But
when it comes to tires and preferred lines, I mean, last night I wasn't running my exact preferred line probably 3/4 of the race, but I felt like I had a lot of tire left at the end of the race. I think what happened. I think what happened with the guys that had issues is, I mean, I can remember, Blake was up front. John passed me at some point. Cody was pulling away from me. Cody didn't have a blown tire, but he did have his tires fall off later in the race, and
yeah, we seen him fall. We seen him fall way off the pace there.
Which he also gave me an all clear when I went by him, which was really cool, and I appreciate the extra racing position. But at that point, I was faster. Those guys, I mean, they pulled away, and if there had been a caution that came out, they would have been in good shape. I mean, because I was once I realized that there was no chance of me really being able to compete for the win, I started nursing the tires even more than what we had been doing in practice, and ended up gaining like 3 spots right at the end of the race, so it worked out.
So when I was saying run your preferred line, it's meaning like you're not being pushed by somebody else. You're running your race. You might have to get away from somebody else in open practice. When they come out, they're faster than you because you're on a tire run. But whenever you're in the race, you're not running your preferred line because, like Ziti was battling. He was doing whatever he had to do, driving deeper in their corners. He had to make sure he blocked the low line, so he had to drive deeper in the corner, but then also be heavy on the brake. That superheats the tire, it eats it up faster. So that's what I'm getting at. It when an aspect is not.
And now, mind you, just real quick, Tim said he has to admit that he was thinking about his right front tire after hearing John had lost his tire. And we actually had gotten the word when we seen Blake Ziti just fall way off the pace from Blake Gordon saying that, hey, Pasta blew, basically just destroyed his tires. Like, they were gone. And I think that was darn near halfway through the race. Like, it was really early that he dropped off the pace and hard, which was pretty wild.
I mean, he was running fast up there, too, though, while he was doing it.
Yep.
I would say he became a roadblock probably like 50 laps in.
Well, we know you almost ran him over.
I didn't mean to run him over.
Those were his only 4 incident points. There were only 2 people with 4 or more, and it was both Nick and Blake from when Nick doored him.
He did.
Him. So let me set the record clear on that, because it looked like a total dickhead move.
Yes, it did.
I didn't mean for it to turn out like that. And you can ask Josh in the race. I thought he came down on me on the exit of the corner because it just felt that way, the way we came together. But it apparently, and what it looks like, and I guess what it actually was looking back at it, was I went down into the corner and I might have gotten the throttle just a little bit too early. But he didn't really have the tires to battle me off. So if I would have just been a little bit more patient. But I was thinking I had Cody Leland behind me, and Cody, I had passed him and then he had caught me. So I was like, I need to go. I wasn't trying to go through Blake at all means necessary. I really didn't like that I did that. That's not how I try to race. There's only like 3 people in the entire league I would ever do that to, and 2 of them are on my team. So,
damn, Larry.
Hey, Tim St. Jean said that Nick needs the DoorDash sponsor.
No, I have more talent than the 5 people in NASCAR history who've been sponsored by that car.
It's not that. It's because you hit the door and then you take off, buddy. It has nothing to do about the people that run it NASCAR.
I have been trying to be like. So I was saying this last night, and Carl and Josh or whoever in here can agree with me or disagree with me. But since I started in this league like a year and a half ago, I've gotten a lot more calm. I'm a lot easier on. I'm not emotionally, Carl. I'm still a douchebag. But on the racetrack, I'm more calm. I don't
racing wise
nearly as many stupid things. I'm a lot easier on my car, and it's led to the speed.
Well, we've definitely seen you've taken a jump from where you were to where you are now. Now, mind you, we only get small sample sizes from you because you have a tendency of not racing,
or running into walls coming out of turns.
I'm committed this season. I'm running the rest of the TNT for the rest of 2021 and all of the rest of the trucks.
So yeah,
so be in effect in TNT hopefully.
Yeah, and like I say, but we've as you start racing more, man, we see that growth that you have and everything like that. And I'm gonna bring up the rabbit or the elephant in the room.
Hold on. Let me throw one thing out there, and Carl, Nick, you just got a shout out from Justin Anderson for the job you did on Wednesday, but only a small one.
Oh, what did he say?
He said Nick did a great job on Wednesday at Iowa, so cut him a break, a small one.
Oh. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate that. You're one of our biggest fans on Tuesday. And
so I'm going to bring up the elephant in the room because, I've been waiting for this one.
We had 79.5, incident-free laps.
Absolutely. That win was dominant. And then we watch our leader go spinning around and backing across the finish line.
So can I say what I think and why I think it?
We'll let you lead off.
Okay. So he states it was a mistake. And if it was a mistake, that's one of the best corrected mistakes I've ever seen. One of the worst ways to finish a race, but that's a great way to win if it was a mistake. It's like watching Talladega Nights, how he backed across the start-finish line if it was a mistake. But here's why I think it wasn't a mistake. And if you look back to last week, when he won the race, he went around the track and he decided to drift around the track because he won the race. That doesn't speak a lot of sportsmanship. But then you look at the end of this week's race, and if you watch the replay, which I did a lot because I was very annoyed about it, you can clearly hear the clutch get pushed in, the throttle get pushed down, and the back tires light up, and then the car goes sideways. If that was an accident after 79.5 laps, if you forgot that your clutch pedal was on the left, then I don't know how you dominated the race and was able to pull away. And you clearly have to be a little bit talented to manage your tires as well as you did and still drive away from everybody. So there's a lot to look at in that small 30-second clip. 79.5 laps, I had all the respect in the world for him being able to dominate that. But right there, that takes away, unless he can prove that it was a mistake, which telemetry doesn't, that just...
So I will throw out my conspiracy and say that how it was finished was actually a mistake. But what I honestly believe is if we watch the finish at Richmond, he was drifting across the line. It was the same plan this time, and he ran out of talent and screwed up.
It's too thought before, though. I mean, as soon as he was sideways, boom, right into reverse.
Yep.
Instantly into reverse. That's why it makes it look so bad.
Just let me because even look. I mean, even let's if we're getting into the argument like, well, did he mean to reverse? Did he mean to drift? Like all of it's disrespectful as hell. And I think the two guys here right now, Larry and Nick, and actually Josh as well. Sometimes you guys know that individually, I'll rip on people. I'll make jokes. I'll taunt. But it's a difference between like taunting with a friend and taunting like an entire series. We all know that he's the best out there. I mean, by far, it's not even close.
In the TNT. In the TNT.
Yeah. Okay. And I want to just point out, like, I'm looking at on VRS. I'm looking at Dave Wright, DW. He ran 585 laps at Iowa.
That's a lot of laps.
585. People are putting the damn time in, and that's because people are putting the time in, because people are doing things like giving the leader, when he's lapping them, room to let him get by. That's why we had an incident-free race. And then to end it like that, it leaves a sour taste in the mouth after all of that. When I had I said something on the radio after about it, and I probably shouldn't have, but I couldn't help myself.
I was surprised it wasn't Nick, but
I said
go
something.
ahead.
You heard
but I had already had my finger on the radio ready to go, because the moment we crossed the finish line, I was going to congratulate everyone for having a caution-free race. And then I had that happen, so I said congratulations for a caution-free race. And I can't remember what I said. It was something about being classless or something. But I don't understand why you do that. Like, I mean,
word for word know what you said, and I know what I said.
Well, I said something because it kind of came out in the heat of the moment. I wasn't very happy, and
it wasn't as bad as some of the things you've said. Don't worry.
Well, I think it's one thing to just pick and joke with people individually, because like I know that Nick and Larry don't think that I'm serious when I'm talking trash about them, even though I am dead serious. They're awful drivers. But I
love you too, Carl. You
like I don't know.
Wait for it. Still have higher finishes in the Cup Series than you do, Carl.
Because you have 1/3 place and we didn't get promoted because we joined later than you.
Hey,
Larry,
it's just facts.
Like
I'm just
Carl
speaking
gets
facts.
the Cup next year. You're probably not gonna race.
I'm just saying. I was really looking forward to this season racing Larry, or this year, I should say, this entire year in TNT racing Larry. And then he had to retreat to the guys up in Cup who can't even finish a race without a caution.
Oh my God! Here we go. Hey, all right. So
conversation.
So all right. So check this out. I'm gonna play the devil's advocate in twice on this. All right. First off, what he did, I think, was intentional, wholeheartedly intentional. Like I said, if that was a mistake, first off, you just dominated 80 freaking laps.
79 and 3/4.
Yeah, mistake free. And then you turn around and you all of a sudden lose it going across the finish line, then back it across, right? Like that's. And the funny thing is,
perfectly timed.
Tim St. Jean said, "I thought I heard him screaming Ricky Bobby baby as he drove by him." So, so I think it was wholeheartedly just purposeful. But here's what I mean. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate, right? So, and we all most of us watch football or other sports. It's this theory on if a football team's getting their butt kicked by so much, at what point do you just kneel on the football? If my football team's beating your football team 56-0 as we are coming out of the third quarter, do I just kneel on the football for the next quarter? No, I still run my offense. I still run my plays and everything like that. At the end of the day, it's your job as the opponent to stop me. And if you want to keep people from doing that, you got to keep up with them. You got to run it.
I'm
playing the devil's advocate again. I'm not saying it's okay.
There's a difference
with
in
the win. There's an issue when you have no sportsmanship, and sportsmanship is key to any sport, whether it's NASCAR, wrestling, the NBA, NFL. It doesn't matter. Sportsmanship is key. And when you have a classless move like that, if it wasn't a mistake and it was completely intentional, it's classless. There's no other word for it.
Well,
if he did it on purpose.
If sportsmanship is the key, Nick, then why do broadcasters or media personnel always want to say that drama brings ratings or whatever that
Okay.
saying is, right?
But
So
when you're in the
you have to
sport-
have that. That's what I'm saying,
when
though.
you're in
That's
the
part of sport.
But that's for us as broadcasters to say. But the people that are the drivers in the sport, they don't like it. It's your theory of, do they continue to go in the fourth quarter? Do they just kneel on the ball? You can continue to go, but whenever you get that wide open, reception, are you taunting the other players as you're running towards the end zone? Are you making fun of them? Are you dancing?
Most time they are. Watch
As you're going-
watch
No.
football.
3-0 though.
But as you're going to the end zone, when you get to the end zone, that's when you dance. But if you're taunting them as you're going to the end zone, after you've already got a 56-0 lead, that's unsportsmanlike, is it not? When you get in the end zone, you can celebrate because you did something great.
You could turn around and tell them as you're running in. It's not an unsportsmanlike
Let's
penalty.
go back, right? A few years ago, and when Martin Truex Jr. dominated Richmond and he led almost every single lap, if he would have come out of turn 4 and done some stupid shit like that, what would have happened on pit road? He would have never ever made it to victory
Well,
lane.
I want to say one thing here, and that is ultimately, because again, as a broadcaster, like I'm kind of looking at, like right after the race, I was like, shit, I bet they had a great time calling that. But it doesn't matter ultimately. It doesn't matter ultimately what other leagues do, because what has been drilled in my head so long, and it took me a little while to understand, is that AOLL isn't about that.
There you go.
And it's about friends racing friends. It's about mutual respect. And I didn't see that last night. That was, and again, this is after, again, I think you guys have heard me multiple times express displeasure about Sean Hayes and how I don't like how he races. But when I was about to go a lap down, I moved up to the top line. I let him by. I mean, now in my head, that was a smart thing to do. My heart was telling me, turn down and spin his ass. It'd be great. But
Carl, I'm not going to take your thunder, but I'm going to pull a Josh. Because it works. Hopefully it works. Going to work? Of course not. There we go.
All we have to do is have somebody watch the stream.
Larry's going to watch it.
I got to watch it.
Let me know when you watch it.
Yeah, my bad. Hold on. I wasn't expecting it. You caught me off guard. All right, here you go.
Just watch this and then make your opinions. Instantly into reverse. That's not what this league is about. That's the thing. Like, we've gotten yelled at and complained at about less than that, because it's about sportsmanship and it's about being a family, and the league is not about one person. It's about everybody getting better.
And it took me a while to learn that. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while to pick up on it, but I think I'm there.
Yeah.
Well,
And like I said,
I just look at it this way. I am not opposed to having him running with us. If we didn't have the first race of this season, him try to retaliate against Carl after driving like an idiot at Charlotte, and Carl finally getting tired of it and moving him up the track. Then we have Richmond, where he goes after the win, he drifts across the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
After being dominant. Then this week we have this incident, which I'm still going to stick with. He tried to do the same thing and just screwed up. But it's not what I love about driving in the AOLL. It's, that after a good hard race, you're going to have somebody like talk about is how great of a run it was and how much fun they had running with it, which was what me, Kevin Haas did. We were in the mid-packet this week in the Sportsman, and it was a great time. Ran hard, but had the respect there. You look at the tail end of the TNT, where it was me, Sean Carmody, and Tim. Had a great time running. There were a few times I could have thrown an asshole move down on Tim and probably taken both of us out, but I have too much respect for him. So you know what? I'm just going to run him hard, and if I can't get past him, I'm not going to force the issue. And then we see this kind of stuff, and it's just not... It's just not... It makes it to where it's not nearly as much fun. because we know that it's ultimately it's a joke to some people when they win.
Yeah, that's the big thing there. I think that's the key of what you just said. At that point, it's a joke. You know what I mean? It's, a celebration's one thing, but when you are making it a joke, that's a completely different story.
I just want to add, what you were saying about,
tracking Johnny tracking.
Losing to him or what. Look, I don't mind losing to people. I don't mind getting my ass kicked by people. I got my ass kicked plenty by you, Josh, last year. So, look, honestly, there are at least 4 people, maybe 5 people that, without a doubt in my mind, are better than me in the TNT series. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to make egos bigger, but at least 5 people. And I don't mind.
And it's not you, Nick. You're not a top 5 player.
One of them's watching. One of them's in here. All right, you're not one of them. So
there's not 5 people better than Carl inside TNT. There's maybe 2, but there's definitely not 5.
So I appreciate that, but I mean, look, I don't look. Getting my ass kicked by Sean Hayes is no different than when I get promoted to the Cup, and I'm getting my ass kicked by Blake and Justin Anderson. So I don't have a problem with that. It's just you go right to that end, and I saw it. I was firsthand because I saw smoke. I'm like, oh shit! I'm getting ready to let off the gas. I thought things were about to go down, and then I realized that he was just being a jackass.
Yeah, I'm really glad Carl didn't push his button immediately because
the team chat was
the shit that came out of Carl's mouth and my mouth were not good things. There's a good reason we didn't push the buttons immediately.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And with that being said, exactly like Johnny said, I mean, we found out last night in the broadcast. Actually, I passed it on to Adam after we got done because I didn't want to say anything over the broadcast. He's gone. He's out of TNT. He's going to be running the Sportsman Series now full time. So he'll get I don't want to say it a hard lesson, but he's definitely going to have a hard fight to be able to do something like that. Once you got the likes of Justin Anderson, Joe Dinsmore, you got your Blake Gordon, you got Steve Gottschalk.
Turn somebody. If Blake gets pissed off, we know Blake will turn somebody. So.
Yeah, Blake don't hold back, which is it's a different animal, and
he also wears his heart on his sleeve. So
this series is a completely different animal. But one thing I'm going to say is, with that being said, we're going to remind me again. Where's next week?
Daytona.
Yeah, you guys are getting. You guys are going up there to plate racing, which is going to be an absolute blast.
It is not.
And it's going to be a terrible thing if people try to race it like any other of the trucks, the Cup, or the Xfinity car. You can't bump draft. You have to know where that nose is 24/7.
Hey, I just want to point out something, and you guys heard what I said earlier about if I was hoping that he was going to be in the Cup so I could wreck him. And Justin just posted, he said, if he pulls that shit in Sportsman, he won't finish another race. Just saying. I'd be willing to get suspended for that. Justin, I said the exact same thing. Like I said, I like playing the devil's advocate against these guys, but yeah, that's
Yeah, I'll be quite honest. I don't know if he did that again, if they would suspend the person who wrecked him. They might just,
I mean, you kind of have to, Oh, Johnny just said that he is running Cup too, so maybe I might give him a chance here. But anyways,
you're not going to give away your shot.
So Daytona.
There it is.
You guys are getting ready to go to Daytona, which is going to be. It should be fun and exciting. Obviously, as we've seen through the videos with this new draft package, especially with these ARCA cars, you guys cannot bump draft at all.
Which you get zero tip, no tip
on this. Otherwise, these guys are going to be going around in circles. But it should make for some exciting racing without Sean Hayes. Now we're going to have the battles up there. Back of obviously you guys, Josh Laston, Carl Henderson. We're going to see. Tim St. Jean had a phenomenal race this week, man, finishing second. You're going to have Sean Carmody. You're going to have Blake Pasta back up there.
It's Baked Ziti. Get it right.
Baked Ziti, all right? It is.
So, are we going to do picks, or are we going to save them for the end?
This is the pick time. We'll switch with a Sportsman after this.
I was thinking about with the rest of these guys, and we kind of talked about it. I was like, that'd be a good idea.
Well, go ahead and just give them out real quick.
So Thursday, because you can't actually bump draft in ARCA cars, right? And the Wednesday series is supposed to be the feeder series to the Cup series. Throw the trucks on Thursday in TNT. Give those guys an idea of what they actually look like, what they'll be comparing themselves to. On Wednesdays, run like an Xfinity car, and then on Sundays, you run the Cup car.
What is he even talking about right now? We're looking for picks.
Rather, because we can't bump draft it,
I'm looking for picks.
New damage model kind of screws over the ARCA car on plate tracks. It's
hey, give your pick.
We're looking for picks. Why are we fighting for this? Give us a pick, Nick.
I was trying to say something before, and you kept talking over me. So
because we can't hear you.
Because you're so damn quiet right now.
So just give us a pick.
You're normally the loudest fucker on this podcast.
I fixed my mic. Joe
Thank you. Thank you. That's perfect. That's perfect. Give me a pick.
What for?
TNT.
Daytona.
Dear
Daytona.
I'm not going to pick a driver. I'm going to pick a team. I'm going to say it's going to be closed circuit. One of the four of us.
Well,
that's a cop out.
Yeah,
no, it's not. One of us is going to push the other one to win.
It's cool. No, it's cool. It's cool. All right, I would have taken Cody Leland, but after seeing Johnny said, "Don't forget my boy Cody." Apparently, not only did he take my spot after I left FRR, but he's now become Johnny's favorite golden boy on FRR. So I'm not going to pick him.
It's for good reason.
He's the only FRR TNT racer we have. Last year we had like 7.
Just saying.
Now we have none.
I'm just going to throw this one out there. Cody, remember this. When it comes to plate tracks, closed circuit and first response, we're going to work. We'll help you.
Tim St. Jean. I'm taking Tim St. Jean.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Hey, our next guest popped in already.
No video. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine, man.
It's all good. It's all good. We're just giving picks out real quick. We're just hitting around the horn. Why don't you give us one for Thursday night? Daytona.
The last... Sean, he's won the last 2, right?
Sean Carmody?
Sean Hayes, I think he's saying.
Sean Hayes, he's won the last.
Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes won't be racing in TNT anymore.
Hey, Josh. I picked Josh.
Nice. I like that one. Josh, what you got?
I'm actually, unfortunately, going to agree with Larry. And I know that Tim doesn't really like the restrictor tracks, but he's been so strong in the past few races, I can't pass it up. He's hungry, and he beat me last week. And no, it wasn't the week before, but he beat me this past week, and you know what? He's got it.
Carl.
I think Josh is going to run up front a lot. Might even go so far as say he's going to dominate, except for the fact he's not going to get the W. I'm picking the guy who nobody else thought about. He won the little Turkey Bowl fun race we ran back in November. I'm picking David DeParis.
The one that Adam Wood came up on me at about 300 miles an hour, or is that a different one?
Who knows?
Adam, who you got?
I don't keep those type of things in my head. Sorry, I'm not that type of person.
Right up the track. I had to keep that in my head.
Oh man, you got a fast repair. Let's so.
You got Adam.
Welcome to the Ghost Fire Media team. I'm going. It's a wild card, so since it's a wild card, anybody can win. I'll pick my teammate, Cody Leland.
All right. Well, with that being said, hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to hear from the AOLL commercial. If you're watching this live, this was made by John Gordon, which I think it's an awesome credit. He did a great job on this. So we're going to take a quick 30, and then we're going to be back with Kevin Haas. We're going to talk sportsmen, and then we'll start talking a little bit about Cup as well.
The Aol Racing League began racing in the early 90s with Papyrus's NASCAR Racing and has grown over the decades, now racing on the iRacing platform. The AOLL has 3 divisions: the TNT Series Developmental Division for our beginners and those getting back into racing, the Cup Series for our veterans and Class A licensed drivers. The Sportsman Division racing the Gander Outdoor Trucks with drivers from the TNT and Cup Series. You can catch all of the AOLL action here on Ghostfire Media.
That's a short.
And we're back. All right. And here with our special guest, Mr. Kevin Haas. Kevin Haas, give us a little introduction. Series that you run, how long you've been in the series, and give us your number.
Well, guys, thanks. Kevin Haas, long time, old time AOLL guy. I go all the way back to the Hawaii days. There's not too many of us left from that. I met Kevin Dietz online and Ed's brother, Tim Springer. That's how I got involved in the league. That was way back in the dial-up days. We were spending, $200-$300 a month on long calls.
Golly, and I still have to apologize to Ed. I called Ed. I called him his brother Tim on Wednesday night, and I knew not to say it, and it still came out of my mouth, and I was like, "Oh, well, there it is."
I almost didn't correct you because I didn't want to call you out, but I'm like, "Oh, I'm not going down with it."
Well, hey, so the truck race, man. Couple quick early cautions and then green flag rest of the race. How was the race for you there?
It was fun. That was one of the most funnest races I've had all this year in the Sportsman. It was great. We ran side by side with Josh for several laps. Also with William in there and Brandon. Good, clean, hard racing, and that's what this league's about. It's about the respect and good, clean, hard racing.
Yeah, a little give and
I will
take.
second that was easily one of the most fun races I've had, and Kevin was 90% of the reason behind that.
That's that's what this league's all about. It's about fun. It's about good, clean, hard racing, and from top to bottom, even in the Cup League. I mean, sure, it's good racing at the front of the pack. It's good racing at the middle of the pack and at the back of the pack. It's fun. It's good, clean racing.
Yeah, it was great. I love Iowa. I haven't really raced it that much. I talked about it with Larry last night on the broadcast, but to me, it's a mix of Richmond and Nashville. It kind of has the Nashville banking where you drive one groove up, but it has the Richmond-esque exits, but they're a little bit more bank friendly for a corner exit speed, so you don't spin out as much. You can actually lay down the power.
Yeah, and that's how Josh and I and William were running. I mean, they probably were a little bit faster than what I was, but I had that top line, and they just could not get off the corners.
Nope.
Yeah.
And you would think I would have learned my lesson trying to pass Tim last night, but no. Apparently I didn't.
I was surprised last night nobody went to the third groove. Everybody stayed either in the first or second groove in turns 3 and 4. Nobody tried the outside groove. I was using the crap out of that at the Sportsman race in the Truck Series. I would run almost close to the wall all the way around it, and I would get a hell of a drive going down the front straight away.
Well, no one ran it.
That's
Which
what
is why I didn't. Because with a dynamic track, on Wednesday, we had a few times that I saw some 3 wide going, and people were forced up that high.
Mm-hmm.
But when it came to the TNT, no one was willing to make that dive, and it just really made it to where there was no rubber on the track, or if there was, you were getting into the marbles.
I also just don't think there was as much of an advantage up there with the ARCA cars. I ran it a little bit during practice, and it never. And I ran a few truck practice laps as well. It didn't feel the same up there for the ARCA cars.
So, Kevin, I have a question for you. Obviously, being a veteran of the league, everything like that. For me, I want to know what your thoughts are with the Sportsman, how it is a combined series with the TNT and the Cup guys, and this has produced some of the best racing we've seen in the AOLL this season. What do you think breeds that?
I think what breeds that is Johnny starting up the TNT League last year. I mean, that's given some of the guys quite a bit of experience in the different cars. And that's what this league is all about. It's about building the relationships and the respect and running clean. Once you get in there and you're running clean and having fun, I think that makes what this league is all about. And for our leagues to be getting the exposure it is now with you guys broadcasting it, I think that's fantastic. I think that's really going to be a boost for our league. I've run in several other different leagues. It's not the same feeling in other leagues as what it is in this in the AOLL. All through TNT, Sportsman Cup, it's just a different feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you ran in the Tuesday night league, and it's more competitive, hot tempers, short fuses. People say whatever they need to say at the time, and there's no give and take. It's just boys have at them for the most part for some of those nights. I will have to say the past 2 weeks have been pretty clean with it. I don't know. Finally got away from the short track racing, kind of opened it back up, but it doesn't compare to AOL though. I mean, you have more people who are more willing to give than take, or actually they take more than they give in AOL. Most people will let everybody have their lines. You get a good run off the corner. Not everybody's going to block you. You know, there's still some people that they do it out of habit, not because they do it on purpose. It's just something, you know, ingrained in their head when they race. So it's not something they're aware of, like, oh crap, I should have let them have that line. So sometimes you can't fault them for it, but you know, for the most part, everybody will give you that extra room so you can see what you could have done. You know, and I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, and that's why I got tired of the Tuesday night league, because it wasn't a very competitive league, but the bickering is what got to me, because that would get me upset, and that's not what I'm doing. That's not what I'm online racing for. I'm online racing to have fun. I think
my favorite thing was when Brandon Bernhardt, because he was racing in it. You were fired up one time, and Brandon's like, "Where's this Kevin been at? This guy used to come to Sunday more often."
Yep. See, it got under my skin, and it got under my skin, Dan's skin, and Ed's skin, and we, it was a fun league. I had some good runs in it, but yeah.
Yeah, we have this old adage, with our race. There's no pot of gold at the end of the race. I mean, in that case over there is a pot of gold. Tempers are going to tend to go a little bit spicier, but, I mean, I can see where you're coming from and all that, and kind of trying to keep your comments to yourself. I mean, I know with when I was on the FRR, we had our moments, but it was in our group chat. You never let outside. We tried to never let outside what was in the group chat to everybody else, because at the end of the day, you kind of brush it off after you're mad and then just go about your day.
Exactly.
So, what do you expect out of the upcoming weeks from Sportsman? You think that we're going to continue on with these nice long green flag runs, minimal cautions? I mean, that's what we all hope for, but is that going to be the expectations? Will it become reality?
I think it's going to become reality. It's building. It's that building block, and shown that, TNT has shown that they can do it without cautions. Sportsman is showing that it is improving weekly. Now Bristol, that's a short track. That might be a little bit different. It's a fast short track. But hopefully, if you just use your head, patience,
and what I think the Truck Series and the Sportsman Series overall makes for better racing. Not only is we have the mix of people, but I think the truck is more balanced for the intermediate driver. It's not, it's not overbearingly powerful or torquey coming off the corners. so you can lay down the power a little bit more than, you know, in the Cup car. Coming off of Bristol, you know, in the Truck Series, you're gonna kind of go be wide open throttle for most of it. Whereas the Cup Series, you're gonna have to exit the throttle going into 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, burp it in the middle of 3 and 4, and then have to lay back on it. But you got to watch out for it coming around. Where the trucks, you know, you don't have that as much since there's not as much torque there. So it's kind of all around better vehicle for, you know, the intermediate drivers.
Yes, it was a good choice to go from last year when we went from the ARCA cars to the trucks. Yeah, I think that improved the Sportsman League quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think the trucks were just the phenomenal choice for that. It was, the trucks are a lot of fun to drive. You know, you got to finesse the throttle with the Cup cars, but the trucks, they're a lot more forgiving when you do kind of hit that throttle a little bit too hard, and you can kind of back off and save it and everything like that. It was a phenomenal choice. But with Bristol, I'm excited to watch Bristol. I'm excited to call Bristol. Bristol's always been my favorite track ever since I started watching NASCAR. So, but I mean, that comes back from that theory. I love the wrecks, right? Like, I watch NASCAR for the wrecks. I didn't watch for them to go around in circles. I wanted to see the cars wreck. But
the caveat for that, you know, everybody always wants to go to Bristol. Everybody's like, got to go to the Thunderdome. We got to go to the Thunderdome.
Yeah, right.
I went there in 2011 when they royally messed up the track. That's when they made it a 2-group track. There was not, I think the whole entire night, there was not one wreck caution the entire night. And everybody was like, oh, pardon me, excuse me, when I could buy? Okay, here you go, sir. Come on, I'll let you go and buy. Thanks, man, have a great day. All right, cool, let's grab some coffee after this, you know? There was no beating and banging. It wasn't Bristol. I drove 3.5 hours to go see the most polite race at Bristol there was ever had in my whole entire life. 2 weeks later, I think I was at Richmond, and it was like 15 wrecks. I was like, finally. I mean, I don't want to see that many wrecks, but within 3 laps, there was action. There was beating and banging. And I was like, finally. Like, I had to come to Richmond to see something.
Yeah, Bristol is actually where back in the it was either the late 90s or 2000, 2001, somewhere right in there. That's when I first met Johnny in person. We'd been racing online, but he had tickets to the race there in Bristol. I believe it was the spring race, and I had season tickets, and had season tickets there since probably the mid 90s, and we kept them all the way up until right about then. At about 2011 2012 is when we gave our season tickets up. But met Johnny there, first time meeting Johnny.
I got to know something. Since you've actually met him in person, is he as ugly in person as he is in his pictures?
Yeah.
Wait, you can get season tickets to a racetrack?
Yeah.
Have I been living under a rock this whole time?
No, you just live next to New Hampshire, so...
Oh, well, that track is useless. There's like 4 races there a year, and they all suck, so I don't even want to hear about it. I think they should demolish the thing and make a freaking road course over there. It'd be fantastic.
They should keep Auto Club and change New Hampshire to what they want to make Auto Club into.
No. If they make New Hampshire into what they want to make Auto Club into, it's in New England. They'll fuck it up. Trust me. We almost killed Thompson. We will destroy New Hampshire Motor Speedway even worse than they'll just take the current layout of New Hampshire and turn it sideways and say, hey, we made a new track. Try it out
now. Now, Kevin.
I made it even more flatter.
Was there any concern as this season's been going along in the trucks that the field has grown? I mean, at some point there's been over 30 plus trucks on the track at one time. Was there any concern about that?
No. I mean, with us, the Palmetto team talking about it in our chat, we're enthused about having that many people out there. I mean, I think it makes for good racing.
I think Bristol, it may rear its ugly head, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot of fun. Except for if
you're going to see the guys who kind of go like the guys in TNT who need a lot of work. If they show up to the Bristol stuff in that truck, it's going to be, you'll see the glaring difference, but like the talent difference between the 2 series at this time, between like the back runners in TNT and the back runners in the Cup Series, if they all show up, you'll see the major difference. But I don't think it'll be terrible.
Well,
I think it'll be some fantastic racing.
I think at times there'll be fantastic racing, but I also think you guys know, like in the crime dramas like CSI or something, when like they'll have to be hacking something, and you have like two people on the computer at the same time typing on the same keyboard. I guess it's going to look like for me and Larry trying to find the wrecks. Where we're like typing on this, like trying to find all the wrecks.
I want to say I'm going to be overly optimistic with this. I think that what you're going to see is you're going to see what we've been seeing, a lot of give and take, right? Like you're going to see the guys that want to race it to get the experience. They're going to run a higher line. They're going to get out of guys' ways, and you're going to see the other guys, go fast. The question is who's going to let their ego get in their way, right? Like I think that's the big thing. Who's going to go out there and try to run with the Cup guys that have run this track and understand this track and can run fast at this track, that the ego is going to let you kind of get in your own way and you're going to start kicking and spinning.
Are you talking about Nick there? I don't know who's below you on screen.
I think he's talking about that guy.
It's this guy.
No,
there's nobody that way for you, Larry. He's the other way.
Nobody.
If you're watching the broadcast, he's the middle one, so he's.
What did I do? I didn't do anything to get this bullshit.
Nick, you're a top 5 car every week.
Okay, first off, jackass.
Hey, I want to say Justin Anderson probably came up with the greatest idea I've heard today. He said he thinks that we should send Blake a care package in advance for the Bristol incident video.
We need to send him some Red Bull and maybe some vodka to go in it to where he's not crying while he's doing it. Because honestly, I think that while I absolutely love running Bristol, I think it's too narrow of a track to where some of the less experienced guys may not be able to hold that high line without hitting the wall.
Well,
I don't think it's necessarily.
It's not dirt anymore, so we're good, right?
Then Larry'd get third.
The last time that Larry was optimistic, he said the Cup guys would have 3 cautions, and they had about 14, and cars were flipping over everywhere. So when Larry's optimistic, it usually goes terrible.
It was one time.
It was Army logic right there.
But what you did is you sat here and you said, "Oh no, they're better than the TNT guys." And you
Army strong.
all of our viewers.
You know what? I will actually give them that.
Grade.
Again, while I was the one that got the cautions correct this past week, it's just that Richmond is a track that there's not many opportunities to pass, and again, the Cup's a much more competitive group. So, like, honestly, that's the reason why I thought that, is it wasn't necessarily that I think they're worse. It's just that Richmond doesn't have the opportunities that many of the other tracks that they go to have. And yeah, everybody wants to try to win. Everybody wants to try to be the guy that has the Cinderella story. But I also think the same thing about Bristol. It's because, unfortunately, I know I will be one of those people that will probably be causing an incident, which is why I'm glad there's not the new point system in the Sportsman.
Well, and hear me out on this, and it could be, and I say ego, but how much not so much of ego? Maybe it's just that aspect of it is such a small track, right? Like it's very easy to go a lap down and not try. You know what I mean? Like you could just be running a steady race. Next thing you know, you've got a 73 or a 48 or one of these guys that just catch you and you're like, oh crap, I'm going a lap down. And you don't want that. So you push it a little bit hard because you see them start to leave you as quick. As opposed to like a Daytona that you lose a position, you fall to the back. It's like, I'm in the draft. I can just hang out here and then I can work my way back up.
Yeah.
You're right.
Difficult.
Go ahead, Kevin.
That'd be fun.
No, go ahead. I mean, it's at Bristol, if you're a half a second off to 3/4 of a second off, in 20 laps, you're a lap down.
Yeah.
And like you said, is whenever the leader comes by, you're going to put your car. The leader might prefer the outside line, so he might ask you to go low, like, hey, lap car, can you go low? You haven't run low, so you try to drop down low. Your braking's off, and you might slide up into the leader, or you might slide up after the leader goes and wreck your car. So there's a lot of different things that go into play whenever you are that lap car or the person that getting past. You put your car in a spot that you're normally not running into, and haven't ran that line all night, and it upsets the balance of the car, and something bad happens. So, I mean, it's always a risk that everybody runs to. I know I've done that a lot. Richmond's, the New Hampshires. You run that higher line so the guy, the bottom feeder track, so the guy can pass you underneath the bottom cleanly, but you overdrive the corner and destroy your car, smash the outside wall. I've done it. I don't know how many times.
Well, Richmond and New Hampshire it's its own devil, but at Bristol, it's really the leader's job to pass you when you're a lap down. Put your car where you feel comfortable so that you're not going to wreck the leader, and make the leader do his job because he's probably 3/4 of a second faster than you. So let him go to the inside because he's probably run both lanes, or wherever you don't feel comfortable, and make him pass you.
Well, at the same time, it's about the open communication between you and the person, open communication and the respect, that we have within our league, that you can be like, hey, run the low line, I'm taking you on the outside. If the guy's like, no, hey, I prefer you to go underneath, and the leader, like, it's up to him. But, try to have that open dialogue and have the respect of like, okay, he's coming up, I'm not going to stall him. I will try to move out of his way. And that's kind of where our league kind of sits, where we'll do that for each other.
Well, actually, Tim just made a good point, though. The leader doesn't know the difference between a lapped car and a car about to go a lap down. If I'm about to go a lap down, I'm going to race the leader a whole different way than I'm going to race him if I'm a lap down.
To an extent. But again, it goes back to that respect thing. As much as you're not going to want to just give up that lap real quick, I promise you, I can't tell you how many times that I've just literally moved over, said, hey, this has been the preferred line. Go to the low line. I'll take the high line. I give them that, but I step back on it right after they pass me, and only because I root for a lucky dog opportunity. There's no point in me holding up the leader to try to fight to stay on that lead lap when second's going to be coming, at the exact same time. Remember, you're not racing for position. No matter how that looks, you're not racing for position. You're racing to stay a lap down. You want to race, stay on the lead lap, race for the lucky dog, try to stay with the leader, and then earn that spot. But don't hold up the leader like that. I think that's bad practice there.
Yeah, that's one of the things in some of the other leagues that is different than the AOL. Is that respect factor? Even guys that are in other leagues that are 2 or 3 laps down, and you're on the lead lap, you might be towards the end of the lead lap, but you're still on the lead lap. They will race you harder than the leader does at times, and that's just it's strange.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, with that, I want to get some predictions for Bristol. And before I do that, I want to throw out there, because I know some of the TNT guys are watching. If you have reservations of running this series or running this series because of this track this week, do it. Everybody understands that this is the Convergent series, and get that experience and learn from these guys, especially when you got guys like Joe, Kevin, Ed, you got all the different guys, Adam, even Blake. All these guys will sit there and they will help you, and they'll talk to you and help you with your lines, help you understand what to do. And this is a great opportunity to learn some of these tracks like this for when you do get that promotion, you go up to Cup, and you're not just thrown into the fire in the Cup car. So
and just to add to that, you might get yelled at by some of these people sometimes. Like, you might do something stupid. You'll learn from it, though. I did.
Monday night, show up.
You do a lot.
Sometimes you may cry a little just because they're harsh.
Yes,
not really.
Adam,
Just
good
don't
point.
crash into people under caution like Carl over here, and you'll be fine.
But yeah,
Monday nights we have practices. Go out there, run 300-400 laps there. Learn the top lane, learn the bottom lane, learn to diamond it, learn to not to diamond it. There's a lot of different ways Bristol can be had. There's the new dynamic added to it. I can't wait to see. I haven't really raced it since they added that dynamic track feature. I can't wait to see how well the bottom groove works with the top groove. I know prior in the truck series, you want to stay the mid to high groove. So maybe the bottom will, help with the little bit better passing, but a little bit more grip there at the bottom.
And I can't tell you
here. Now that you said it can be taken many different ways, I can only imagine what Randy would have said.
I miss Randy and the double entendres tonight.
And like Justin just said, he said that these are what these races are for. Get that experience. And like Adam said, grab that practice because these guys will hang around. I can't tell you how many times I've seen, Kevin and Ed and Joe and these guys just mentoring guys and staying late. Like I'll pop off at 11 o'clock and these dudes are still talking to some of the TNT guys and helping on these tracks. So do it.
I don't think Joe Dinsmore sleeps.
He does not.
I don't think
he
can
gets
talk
like
to him about here in a minute.
He gets like 2 to 3 hours, and that's all he needs, man.
Hey, Joe's here tonight?
Yeah.
He's
going to be on here next. Hey, all right. So I want to get some predictions. We're going to start from top left, my top left. So we're going to go Adam first. Adam, Carl, Josh, myself, Nick, and then we'll finish with our guest. But Bristol, who you got, Adam?
I'm gonna have to go with the number 45 of Adam Wood.
Calling a shot. I like it.
I love that track, and
2 Talladega wins, and he thinks he is now the new Jeff Gordon.
He has
only one so far.
2 Talladega wins.
Nah, he won one today.
Carl won a bunch of Talladega races.
All right, so I want to pick Blake Gordon, but I think he's starting to think that I have a crush on him. So. I'm gonna go with Johnny Downey. He finished third here. What is he not racing this year?
I'm not sure.
We don't know when he works.
He's nice, but he's a solid pick.
He finished third at Bristol last year. I'm gonna go with Dan Shirley then.
Johnny Downey, if he is racing, Dan Shirley, if he's not. Gotcha.
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to throw it out there, and this isn't just pandering because I know he's coming in here. I'm actually going to go with Joe.
Front row Joe.
Again, it's one of those tracks that generally plays to his strength, and he's due.
Okay. Hey, Kevin, I got a question.
Go.
What color car are you running? Or truck?
I'm going to run the black truck. The 3 truck.
You going to run the black 3? I made it tougher. If you're going to tell me you're running the silver 3 truck, I probably would have picked you. But the black one, you know what?
No, Bristol's not one of my. I mean, I'm not bad at Bristol, but no, it's not one of my favorite trucks. And like Adam said, I have not ran it since they've changed it.
Well, crap. All right. See, look, you guys threw me all off now. All right. All right, let's go. Steve Gottschalk.
Gottschalk doesn't race in Truck Series, does he?
No.
Oh, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. But he's good at Bristol.
Yes, I'm not the only one that's made that mistake.
Steve, you're killing me, Steve. All right, Justin Anderson.
Solid pick.
Mr. Adams.
Fuel strategy. All right.
You're like the second to last. You should already had your pick.
No, you guys, half you guys took my picks. Somebody picked
you can pick me.
You can pick the same pick.
You can pick me. It's cool.
All
right, Mr. Haas.
I'm not picking you.
I'm gonna go with Dan Witt. He likes Bristol.
That's a sneaky dark horse pick right there. I like that one. I like the way Dan drives.
Dan's been quiet since early in the season.
Ever since he yelled that his back of his chair fell off?
he fixed that. And the other thing that he loves is M&M peanuts.
I forgot about that one too.
So if I end up wrecking, if I wreck him by accident, just send him some peanut M&Ms, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I don't know, man. He scares me. He seems like a giant teddy bear, but he scares me. Don't make Dan Witt mad. Hey,
I've turned Dan by mistake before. He didn't even say anything. He was like, it's okay.
Yeah, Dan's a good guy though. I mean, he is gruff at sometimes and rough, but he's actually a pretty good guy.
That's the veteran in him.
Great dude right there. All right, well, we're gonna take a quick break, and Kevin, you're more than welcome. Are you gonna stay on?
Did Nick give his pick?
Yeah,
Blake.
Oh, he must have said, "Well,
guys,
Say again.
Legends race at 10 o'clock tonight, so I'm going to go.
All right.
Into it. We're actually running at Bristol, their Super Speedway for the Legends. That's a fun track.
Good Lord, that has to be a
good luck
blast.
to you tonight. All right, and we appreciate having you on. We're definitely going to have you back.
Sure, guys, and thanks for everything that you're doing for the leagues. Good job, guys.
We appreciate it, sir. And with that being said, we're going to cut to our sponsors.
The Aol Racing League began racing in the early 90s with Papyrus's NASCAR Racing and has grown over the decades, now racing on the iRacing platform. The AOLL has 3 divisions: the TNT Series Developmental Division for our beginners and those getting back into racing, the Cup Series for our veterans and Class A licensed drivers, the Sportsman Division racing the Gander Outdoor Trucks with drivers from the TNT and Cup Series. You can catch all of the AOLL action here on Ghostfire Media.
And we're back. And we have our next guest here, Mr. Joe Dinsmore, which I was hoping would be on camera since everybody else has been coming on camera so we could see the hat in person.
Oh, hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Hold on a sec. I got to turn off your feed.
Yeah, you don't want to hear us twice because you luckily can't hear what I said while we're off.
Hey!
Yes!
Hey, guys. How's it going?
If you're worried about Joe, the technician over here, not having a webcam, he's got 14 computers next to him with all webcams.
Hey, Joe, do you hear my mic? I can actually, I'm not like 900, decibels anymore.
I hope not. But you're nice and they're nice and quiet, so
yeah, we try to make it a little more tolerable for people that have speakers that they want to actually keep.
Yeah, not blue.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'm not too loud. I had to use a different microphone tonight.
No, you sound great, man, and the hat looks amazing, as good as it does in every picture you populate on.
Mm-hmm.
That is like my thing.
Like my goat here.
Here we go again.
Hey, it kind of looks like Nick.
It does, doesn't it?
Damn.
Hey, and Nick's mine.
I'm gonna put a Nick sticker right up here.
All right. Well,
every time you say "goat," I just think Tom Brady. It's okay.
Nope.
So Joe really doesn't need an introduction.
No.
Everybody knows him, but go ahead and give it anyway. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about you. What car number do you race? The sponsors, team, all that good stuff.
I run the 95 Dragon Ball Z car that I typically run for the AOLL.
Amazing.
And I run with Steel Horse Racing, and then that's about it. I mean, I don't know what else I want to tell you all.
Who's your favorite driver in the league, Joe?
My favorite driver in the league.
All
of them.
Come on, Joe. You pick one. You got to pick one, Joe.
I don't need to pick one.
All right. Then how about
Larry, you left FRR. He's no longer your favorite.
I picked a better team.
Out of the 5,
did you? Did you really though?
Better teammates. I like you guys more.
Nick, what were you saying?
Out of the 5 people in here that aren't you, who's your favorite?
That aren't you.
You can't pick yourself because I know you hate all of us. It's okay. I hate
that
you
look
too.
on his
Sorry.
face tells me he hates everybody in here. Hey, let's talk some cup, all right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, let's start with the elephant in the room. The new caution point system that we're rolling out this week.
Yeah. 2 new rules this weekend. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, let's hear them.
Yeah. So let's see. The first one is if you are part of a caution and cause a wreck and you don't claim it because we don't have race control.
Mm-hmm.
The next race, if it's found that you are at fault and you didn't take the EOLL, you'll be not able to qualify the next following race. It's to give a little bit more of an accountability to folks that aren't calling out their actual wrecks, because we've been having we've been having some problems over the last couple weeks, and it really needed to get addressed. I hate putting rules in. We all do. The admin team does, because Adam knows very well, every rule we add creates at least a half an hour more work every week for us to actually run the league. And these rule sets that we created at least added a couple hours worth of work if we have a rough race or whatnot. So, because there's a lot of there's an awful lot of discussion that comes around with the issues, and you're gonna watch one of my cats come by. Here's your ass.
Hey, cats are friends of this show. We see Josh's cat, I think, every podcast.
You mean this
nowadays.
one?
Yep, there he is.
No. Oh, Nick's fell over. Nick, you okay?
Upside down.
Damn it. Nick.
Oh, man.
Jesus. And I gotta know, I mean, I would say that's gonna hinder your sleep, Joe, but I gotta know, man, do you sleep?
No.
I envy people like you. Granted, I live on 6 hours, but
every few months I'll sleep, like maybe 5 hours or 6 hours.
Fair enough, man. I don't know how you do it. They say in the Army we're supposed to operate without sleep, man. I can't do it. I go to sleep, I'm out. What was the second rule that you guys implemented?
So the second rule is a point system, where if you cause a caution and you're at fault, you get a point. Okay. And for every race that you have clean after you have a point, you get a half a point back. So it takes 2 races to get a point back that you ended up earning. Okay. So in this cat, he's going to knock more stuff over.
That's what cats do. They're assholes.
Yeah, this particular one out of the too many that I have.
The too many that you have.
Yeah.
Cute cat.
And so
this is Epo.
Epo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised all your cats aren't named after Dragon Ball Z characters.
There are most of them are after anime characters.
Fair enough.
This is Epo Makinuchi. It's fighting spirit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question on that first rule.
Yes.
So say that there's an incident, right? And both drivers say, "Hey, I don't know what happened. We'll have to review the tape." Now, how does that work? Would they be considered for a not being able to qualify the next race?
So if it's considered a racing deal, which the admin team will be reviewing it, and it would be considered a no-fault wreck. So then no one would get penalized.
But so what if it's clear on video that there is one person at fault, but during the race the 2 drivers like, I don't know if I got into you or you got into me. It's like, because that happens. You don't think you got into somebody else, but then you go back and rewind the tape. It's like, oh yeah, that was totally me. But you both own up saying we were the 2 that were involved, but we just don't know which one of us were the ones that caused it. I know that's where it goes. The monkey
I was like, they would just give him a headache. Like, man,
yes.
maybe think too much about this one.
So, yeah. So if someone claims it and they took EOL and it's, so I guess it's going to end up being, since we have to review the caution and whoever is at fault, we have the chat logs of the actual race. We could see who we gave the EOLL, right? So just the person that actually caused the wreck will get the point. They won't actually be doing, that's a good question. So they would probably end up being, there's going to be, I would say there's going to be an awful lot of really discussion. That's why I said this rule have created a lot of time in discussion with the admins. And Adam has been in the channel for a little bit, and we're not gentle to each other when we disagree on something. So,
I think the worst, or not the worst one, but the biggest rule we put in was the if you had a clean race rule and you got points for having clean race. So we try to reward people. And when I was an admin, people would send us videos all night long, every single night for 3 days straight, and we have to go back and review every single incident. So they're like, "I want my points." But I'm like, "Dude, you call three other wrecks, and you only show me one that you didn't cause."
Yeah. I mean, really, it's like let's not talk about the 4 other wrecks, and you're trying to excuse this one, 4X.
I'll admit I missed that rule just because I got a lot of points out of that, but at the same time, I don't blame you guys for getting rid of it.
No,
I mean, it was just a way for the admins at the time to try to reward good behavior. We try to take away the fail safe of fast repairs and then reward people to try to drive clean.
Oh yes, definitely. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's going to be a lot of tough calls. When we were writing the rules, it was really, we put a lot of scenarios in place. We even used some of the more current races. Richmond comes to mind, and had a lot of discussion of what ifs. And there's definitely a couple of those areas where I want to say we'd probably talk about it for a day or two, at least a half a day, depending on how active our group is to discuss it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's no easy way to do it as far as that goes when it comes to just giving the points out.
Yeah.
Just let me and Carl in the broadcast make all the calls. We're good with that.
Sketchy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons why we only put, if it causes a yellow, we'll review it. We're not going to go through the replay, for example.
Every little door ding.
Every little freaking door ding that someone actually has, and my little ass is sore or something. But if someone wants us to review something, they can absolutely go, hey, on this lap, it didn't cause a yellow, but 3 cars spun. Can you review it? And that's something that we did mention when it was announced, and as well as the I believe it's kind of in the rule too, to report if you find something that you want to talk about during after the race. So I mean it depends, because a lot of it, we've been getting tons of feedback, I want to say, for quite some time, about what are we going to do about the constant people that are causing yellows, or what are we going to do about the constant people that are bumping into folks or something like that. This is the best way that we could have come up with a system that is brings up a little bit of ownership and self-awareness. As their points build up, they should be a little bit more aware of what they're doing, and maybe even drive a little bit more cautious. I mean, even if it's somebody that might have to slow down on the track to be a little slower, to drive safer around other people. That's what we're looking for, because then that makes it more fun for everybody else on the track, not having to deal with extra cautions for no reason.
Well,
I mean, there's racing incidents, though.
Yeah,
and it's racing.
At the end of the day, kind of you say, I mean, you start going a little slower, you may actually pick up some speed. You could be overdriving the car at that point, and that could be causing a lot of your issues and stuff like that. I bring it up to just real quick. I was watching a video or podcast earlier, and it's dude they called Rhino that used to race motocross, and he was telling about how he trains motocross racers. He tried to tell them, like, most time I tell guys to slow down, and when they slow down, they get faster, and that's the big key. And I think that a lot of the times we're just, for some people that are having issues, I have the issue from time to time too. I just got to slow down, and when I slow down, I actually pick up time.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I honestly believe it's a very fair system, to where you would essentially have to cause a caution in 5 straight races before you're sitting for a night.
Right.
And
Ross, sorry.
Oh, come on.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I love Ross. Couldn't resist
it. No, it's fair to where
You might
they
have nightmares.
go away after a little while. It's not like you're talking like FIFA rules to where it's just once you hit 5, you're done.
Right.
And you can have a few bad races, be clean for a while, and you're not going to be punished, because sometimes people do just have a bad streak. And again, I think I don't actually foresee more than like 2 for the remainder of the year. But it does put a little fear in people to make sure that they're running
cautiously
well.
Especially on this upcoming race at Dega.
That's what I'm ready to get to. I think we grilled him enough about the point system.
I'll tell you, I wasn't looking. We realized when we released it that we did it right before a Super Speedway, so it's not. I'm hoping that we have a nice race. We don't have to have hours of discussion.
Now, Joe, I'm used to seeing you second, third place and taking wins, man. Not back there in 5th and 6th. What's going on with you this season?
Last race? You mean? Let's see. What was the last race?
Richmond.
Richmond.
I don't want to talk about Richmond.
Yeah. So, yeah, that one, it just wasn't. The runs weren't long enough for me to get anywhere. So I mean, I was easily
cautions.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the type of track where you need to have a rhythm. I think. I mean, even Blake will say that. I mean, it's if you don't get into a rhythm to do stuff, man, it's just not going to happen.
Right.
So, and then I don't remember. Did I qualified terrible? If I recall.
Yeah, I think
I don't remember the races. See, this is so bad.
Or no, that was last night. Never mind.
It's that lack of sleep.
Wednesday night.
What's that?
I said it's that lack of sleep, man.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Hey, all right. So we're coming up to Dega.
Yep.
A super speedway. I mean, that's about as equal as we can possibly get in a racetrack, right? I mean, you are going to make the draft. Is this where you rebound? Is this where we expect to see you up front? Do you have a strategy going into this?
So, yeah, of course, it's to work with my teammates and to get everything. We did some practice. The aero package is totally different. The drafting model with the recent update, and these things draft entirely different. And you could definitely, you can actually, like, when you're side drafting somebody, you can actually slow them down and pull yourself forward. It's really such a funky feeling. It's going to lead to an interesting race. If I can stay close to my teammates, who knows? For some reason, I end up always in a good spot in super speedways. I haven't figured out why. I freaking hate them. I hate racing them, but I always end up like in the top 2, top 3, sometimes usually winning them. And I haven't figured out why. Maybe because I hate them so much. I don't know.
You can also spin people with the bubble.
Yes,
practice last night.
Yes, that was right. So I mean, I'm gonna try my best to show Justin and I drafting together, showing folks how you can get connected to somebody, but not actually running them over, but pushing. It's really tough to want to stress that if the car is wiggling a little bit, you don't want to chase it. If you chase it, you're gonna run over the track. If it's a hard wiggle, then yeah, you're gonna have to chase it a little bit. I mean, Adam should know. I mean, he raced quite a bit of a lot of laps with those things, but you want to hold the wheel as straight as possible. If you're not calibrating your offset, for example, to keep that wheel straight down the straightaway, you're gonna hurt yourself down the road. You don't want to. You don't want to wheel like this or like this. You want to make sure that thing's straight, so that way you're not tugging at it or trying to figure out. All right, I need to be at 6 degrees or 2 degrees or whatever. Instead, I just know dead straight, and then I'm going.
So what I found is also while you're in the pack racing, before everybody wanted to be right up on that car in front of you. Everybody wanted to be as close as possible. With this bubble, you can push that gap back. You don't have to do that, and that takes a lot of that turbulent air that's around a lot of people who, don't have the finely calibrated wheel, and they start floating around. It's because they're trying to stay like the old draft package, which would want right here, which also led to overheating cars. This new bubble package, it puts you back, 2 or 3 feet from it, and you're still pushing them like you are if you were on the back bumper. You still have that pocket of air that's pushing them, and you're still being able to hit 195 going down the back straightaway just like the old one, but it doesn't feel the same because you're not physically or invisibly touching that rear bumper, and everybody's still trying to get to that old mentality. And if everybody kind of relaxes and pushes back a little bit, the turbulent air is not going to be there as much, and there's not going to be enough not people just wiggling down the straightaway. I mean, that's what we saw at Daytona a couple weeks ago in the trucks. Everybody was going straight, going like this. I'm like, I don't know how you go like this when you're going straight.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it has to do with, some of the equipment. I mean, calibrations. I mean, anybody that's at least worked with me, or even anybody that knows how to set up the equipment pretty well, if your equipment's not set up right, especially the super speedways, you're going to be all over the place. Because I mean, if you have a wheel that's got tons of play, and in order to move it, you get this much dead zone in your steering. You're no matter what, you're going to be all over the track. You got to find a way to balance it. I mean, even if you have to dampen the wheel more to tighten it more into the center, do something to try to get that wheel tighter in the center.
And this is
because really that's what's going to help.
This is going to go into that little shout out, man. TNT drivers, talk to Joe, because this man can help you with all that, because it's a lot. It's a lot. I know when you helped me out, man, that was just wild. There's a lot of stuff you don't know that you may not understand that Joe just going to, once he sets you up, man, it's you can drive the car like it's free.
And once he sets you up, save that config file, the app INI file, put it off somewhere else in case that thing gets messed up, so you can reload it.
Yeah. Or get that program that was linked just recently.
Yeah,
so
that's a great
profiles. Yeah, I really need to do that.
I know Carl shared it with me, and it's been a lifesaver, especially for anybody that does VR, that wants to do broadcasting or just wants to do screenshots afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
You can switch it like in an instant, go from semi potato graphic for VR to broadcast quality, like high quality shots with an instant click of a mouse. So it's really nice, and then you can go right back to it and hop back into another race.
I've been using it like crazy. Running the 30 series GPU. Oh wait, that's right. I'm trying to help you get one too.
I'm running the last year awesome GPU that now is potato.
Oh my god! You wish you have a potato.
That's what it feels like, man. Whenever you want the best, it feels like it's a potato. But when everybody else, like Joe over here's got a 3090.
I just got lucky. That's all.
I was gonna say I just got lucky with my 3070. I just walked into Micro Center to buy something cheaper, and it was there, so I bought it.
Yeah, nothing like a good friend calling you, going, "Hey, I'm in line. There's a used 39. There's a return 3090. They have a sale on it. Do you want it? Sold."
Johnny, I think, spent about $2,500 that day buying my processor and your GPU.
Oh my, yeah.
Good God, man.
Yeah.
I'll stick with my 2070. I'll stick with my 2070, man. I'm cool.
I absolutely, I'd have no regrets buying my 3090. I'll tell you that.
He's watching Cyberpunk like it's fucking right in front of his face. It's real life.
Oh man. I tell you what, it's been a good one, especially for the fact that we get to see Nick twice in 2 different screens here. It's just amazing.
You're the goat Nick. On top.
You look like without the glasses. He took the glasses.
Yeah, off. I know. Right now they're literally twins.
Look, yeah, he definitely looks like him now.
Yeah, and
facial hair and all.
Nick, they're calling you the GOAT, which means that you are the greatest of all time.
Yeah, when
in our hearts.
When the cap
wasn't showing up to this.
Hey, when the cat was up there earlier showing its butt, we saw Larry twice. So
Hey, that was pretty quick-witted. Not bad for a man with no hair.
Funny.
Not bad for a man with no hair. Well, what do
He's
we
got more hair on his face than you have in your entire head.
Well, that's
So,
because
that's funny of it.
that's this week because I literally got it cut today, but I probably got
He had to go look like a real boy again.
I probably got more hair on my butt than he's got on his face. I'm just
Hey,
throwing that
Larry,
out there.
thanks for making.
No one wants to hear you admit that.
Yeah, that's.
well, why are you
that's
bragging about that?
That's like a TMI thing.
Larry, thank you for sending that to the group chat because now somebody, Josh, is going to make that into a meme. And I'm never going to live that down.
Oh my gosh.
That'll be great. That'll be
No,
fantastic.
I'll be nice.
When I came and we started doing like face cam shit, I was like, "I'll become a meme." I know it. I just have a
You
meme
will.
type.
You
face.
have
I
you
just
have
make
you have the personality that would give one. What are you talking about?
That's fact.
my
Your explosive personality will give you a meme, all on its own.
You think, Mike? All you
What?
hear is what I.
It's a compliment. I'm giving you a compliment.
Oh, thank you. All you hear is what I put out over the radio in the race. You should be in our team chat.
Oh
No one wants to. I literally, if I actually go over to the AOLL and I look at what your volume is, I have you set to 40%.
You're gonna have to fix that. Now that I have my mic fixed.
Okay, it's gonna go up to 60.
So
yeah.
So when I
You're my favorite. I told you yesterday you were my favorite teammate. You know what? Fuck you. Carl's my favorite.
Oh no, hell no!
We
I'm not gonna be
just-
second place. You can just.
do we have R
I don't
rating
want
now?
to be your second favorite.
Yeah, I know, right? This guy over here, hey, Ed just threw a good one. He said more like watching the intros to the Misfits Brady Bunch. Like, fair enough. That's pretty good. So, hey, let's get some picks for Dega. Picks for Dega.
We'll start with Nick. We'll go around the bottom to top.
Good, because if anybody doesn't pick this man, you're insane. Adam Wood, without a doubt. I mean, he's on the hottest streak of his entire life at Talladega. Since this new package came out, and the first message I saw in our group chat was, I just led every single lap at Talladega and won the race. And nobody could pass me. To then what he did this past Tuesday. I mean, Adam's always a factor at plate tracks. And Larry, don't pick yourself because you're going to wreck on lap 4, and then you're going to finish third, and you're going to think...
he's racing.
Josh Hanner.
I forgot about Hanner.
Oh, he's getting his intro to the Cup this week.
Bye.
I forgot about Hanner.
Bye.
Adam,
Shut off your camera.
I'm sorry.
And Larry is going to try to push him to the front and end up in 25th in the process.
Like his number.
No, Larry's going to finish 4th, and he's going to be so upset because it's going to be his second best career finish. Or Larry's going to win the race and finish 2nd, and he's going to act like he won the championship. You know, I finished 2nd one time in the Cup race, and 3rd one time in the truck race, and then one time in TNT I finished 17th.
By the way, I just want to point out the reason why my 3rd place finish was so big to me is because I beat the man that's above you on my screen, Mr. Dinsmore. I beat Justin Anderson. All right. I'm happy. I beat Steve Gottschalk. I'm happy. That's it. I could die tomorrow.
You beat Joe when his car was a crab.
I still
His
beat
car
him.
was going
faster than
His
you.
car was
with
like
my
this.
crab.
Hey, but guess
I just
what?
got bad luck.
But guess
unfortunately.
what? I still beat him.
You did.
That's
Yep.
it. That's all that
With
matters.
my crab. With my crab.
Don't give him credit, Joe. Every time you give him credit, his head grows bigger.
It validates him. Don't validate him.
No.
I appreciate
the
it.
only way we keep Larry here on the contract he's on is because he doesn't have this big head. If you actually tell him how much talent he has, which isn't that much, he'll be like, he'll want $7 million a year. We can't afford that at closed circuit racing. We're like front row motors.
Hey, Justin said he took a provisional. Don't you dare brag about that shit. Hey, Justin, I ran the race, so I still beat you, buddy. I apparently
Justin took a provisional and you were throwing that out? Oh, Larry, that's just sad. Sad.
Still beat him. Hey, let's hear it, Josh.
All right. I'm going with it until I finally get it. I'm going with Mr. Gottschalk.
All right. I like it. Adam?
Me? I'm gonna go with my teammate Marshall Hall if he shows up, Mr. MIA.
If he finishes a race too.
Carl?
I didn't know what order we were going in there. All right, so
Well, they're all different in front of me.
yeah. So Hanner is an easy pick. I think he's great Super Speedways, but my heart's telling me to pick Larry.
Oh.
Larry is coming off of a third place finish like 5 years ago. and Larry did finish. Larry did finish 5th at Daytona.
Oh my God!
Larry did finish 5th at Daytona.
I want to pick Larry, but nobody has picked Joe yet. I've got to choose Joe because Joe won at Daytona.
I did win at Daytona.
And Larry, I don't know if you know this, but winning is better than any other position.
If you're not first, you're last.
Larry, you've created.
And that's where I finished last week.
One other thing I wanted to add. You were talking about making Larry's head grow. Everyone thinks he got a haircut. His hair's actually stayed the same size.
No, his head's bigger. That's
my head's gotten bigger.
That's what it is.
Because of the brain. Don't worry.
All right,
Mr.
Joe, who do you
Dinsmore.
got? I don't know. I hate I hate them. So I'm gonna go with Kevin. He pushed me to win last time, and honestly, if I can return the favor, I'll do it.
Which Kevin?
Kevin Pearson.
Kevin Pearson. We got a couple of Kevins, so I just want to make sure.
You're right.
Honestly, that's not a bad thing. It's really one of those things to where I won't argue with Carl and Larry because I guess he tries to push Hanner to the win and accidentally wins himself.
Yeah. Yep.
The
pusher is the winner in plate, right? I mean, realistically, you can't win a race unless someone's pushing you.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? So just like Justin, when I pushed him to the lead, even though it looked like Blake did, but it was me that helped him get to the lead. You know what? I'd do it all over again. No problem. I'd push any of my teammates.
Your teammates always leave me high and dry at Dega.
I blame you. I would do the same thing.
And I coming out of turn 4, I forgot who it was, but I know it was a lot of the Steel Horse Racing guys all around me. I pull on the outside, I was like, yeah, let's go. And nobody went. I was like, oh, man. Like, come on.
Right up next to my 95 is just to leave Adam.
Dude, it was terrible, man. I was like, man, nobody went. I think 4 of them were on the inside. They were on the outside, and then they backed up, and I was like, I jump out in front of them. Let's go. They're like, nope, I'll take your spot. And it was like,
yeah, probably stole the momentum that you gave them.
Yeah,
I think that this
week is going to get some interesting racing, though.
I think this week, because everybody's going to be a little bit cautious, knowing that there's a new aero package.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly, I think everybody is going to try to keep the cleanest race they can. Running in practice with you guys last night, it was really, really dumb things that caused people to fall off of the pit parties that we did. And honestly, I don't think anybody's going to do that in race because it's Dega, where even if you get loose and drop off the pack, there's no hope at catching. So everybody's just going to do everything they can to stay with the pack.
Yeah, you definitely lose momentum and you end up getting pushed back quite a bit. I really hope that folks did spend some time with this new package. It doesn't drive anything like the old package. It is not anything like the old package at all.
Not at all.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I mean, people. Exactly. Sorry, Adam.
No, it's just I agree with you. It's nothing like it. I've done 2 races in the Cup this week with it. It's finicky to get it the outside lane to work, and that's where a lot of teamwork and patience is going to have to be.
Yeah, definitely. And it's. I mean, a lot of times people say, "Oh, it's different," and it really. This is drastically different. So.
All right.
Yeah, like people say, like, the dynamic track. Yes, a dynamic track is different, but the racing dynamic is still the same. You just have a different groove now and a better exit or entry. This is a completely 180 from what we were doing prior. There's no more hook it up and go, because you can have a whole entire 7 cars on the inside. You could have 2 cars hooked up on the outside, and the 2 cars will just blow the doors off of them. That ain't happening.
No,
not anymore.
Nope. You won't see Justin and I do that like we used to.
I want to say I appreciate your teammate Justin Anderson, because he told me that just now in the group or in the chat that he would push me and not Adam. So Justin, I appreciate that. Man.
I don't know what I did wrong to Justin at all.
He's got one win this week. He doesn't want to see another.
I'll tell you, Justin and I definitely work super well together.
Well,
What's that, Nick?
It makes you feel any better. I would push. Sean.
Rick, man.
Yeah, Rick said he's got 5 on someone putting Blake in the wall. So, anybody out there that's looking for that bounty,
the Blake wall push is happening
Rick,
one day.
if you give me $20, I'll
me.
suit up and go put Blake in the wall.
Oh man! Well, this has been a fun one, guys. I think that's going to about do it for tonight. Anybody else got anything good for the group?
Other than Carl calling me out for leaving him high and dry on the outside plate tracks.
Justin called you out. I was just confirming it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
I mean,
he did do that at Talladega.
I will be the first to admit I am okay with it.
You told me twice in the trucks, "Hey Nick, come on to the outside." I push you to the lead, and what did you do? Right down. And then I fell straight back to the back of the pack again. And I was like, "Thanks, Josh. It was nice working with you. I'll be back here in 14th."
Man. Well, I'd say that about wrap it up. So we'll see here. What we got? Friday, Sunday, Talladega, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on Ghostfire Media. Catch the replay of the broadcast. It'll be on Spotify within about an hour, potentially. I may wait till tomorrow morning. I am sober, but I'm also tired. I'm old. I go to bed early. And
Definitely old.
You're the second youngest amongst us.
I'm old in Army years, okay? All right.
You can see the gray, Larry.
That's my wife's doing there, okay? I used to never have this.
Well,
she will tell you.
She obviously does not listen to this afterwards.
It was fantastic working with you. I've enjoyed our time together. And,
it was nice knowing you, Larry.
I'll see you in the afterlife.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm telling you, she would admit that.
Just want to say thanks, Joe, for coming on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
I tell your boss thanks for letting you go for the evening and let you spend some time here with us here on the podcast.
I gotta know, Joe. Are we gonna see some great rabbit pictures? Do we got a rabbit show? Do we got some rabbit shows this weekend?
No, not this weekend.
See, I always look forward to the rabbit. Man, I tell you what, you ever want to see the prettiest rabbits? Joe's daughter raises. They're amazing, man. Telling you.
Raises rabbits?
No, raises, not races. Raises.
That's what
raises.
Well, he gets them out there. He's got the fastest. He's got the fastest bunny that can run a quarter mile on this side of the East Coast.
Well, I do have a rabbit called Ramjet, so if that says anything.
Ramjet or Ramrod?
No, Ramjet.
Team Ramrod.
If Randy Pepper owned a rabbit, it would be called Ramrod.
Yeah, I could.
Oh man, we don't have Randy here. We needed to have Justin pop in right quick to give Randy's promo. Justin has been nailing it lately in the in-race in-race chats of the Randy's Guitar Attic ads.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
It's all right. Nick tried it in practice last night, and it didn't sound right.
I'm not Randy Pepper. I can do the butt kicker one. I can do the butt kicker one really well. I cannot do the Guitar Attic one well.
Is it bad? I have not heard any audio from the actual commercials. I see them, but I don't hear the audio, and I don't go back and rewatch.
It's because you don't race ever and want to rewatch the broadcast.
Larry, so what are you telling me that you don't rewatch broadcasts that you do?
No.
So
Randy is going to smack you in your head. Because Randy taught me that the only way to get better is to watch yourself and go, wow, I sucked right there.
Good point.
Yeah, and see,
Hence-
and I don't want to hear myself. I hear myself all day long. I'm in my own head. I don't want to hear me again. So I just
That's how
chill out,
you
too.
improve.
Yeah.
I'll be all right.
He's perfectly happy being mediocre.
Thank you.
Okay, I was going to say.
Oh, that is very favorable.
Hey, this man finished third in his last race. Don't give him that. He gave him third. Don't disrespect him.
Hey, he's the 5th best broadcaster on Ghostfire Media.
Did he just
fifth breast? I'm not even drinking.
So who's the worst then?
He's the 5th best broadcaster at Ghostfire Media, but he finished 3rd one week, so you got to give him that.
Well, you're the best looking goat, Fergan Ghostfire Media, so there's that, man.
Hey, listen, you can call me Goatface all you want, because you know what? Daniel Bryan rode that shit to a championship one year, so I don't care. Call me that all you want.
All right.
With the WWE talk.
I missed some hot stuff.
No, we're gonna
I can't
change
wait to
Ghostfire
listen to the
Media
broadcast.
Goatfire Media.
Which ones you missed, Joe?
Sounds like I missed a hot broadcast earlier today. I can't wait to re-listen to all of it.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
like,
sure you've heard about
like in
most
everybody's
of it
throat.
already.
I'm assuming you're talking about our Thursday night conversation.
I haven't watched that yet.
It
That's
got hot
tonight.
and spicy.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
It was intriguing. It was intriguing. I like to pick on people. But with that being said, hey, again, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Same channel as always, or channels, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. If you like Twitch, I know your nephew watches a lot of Twitch, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome to watch.
On YouTube.
8 p.m. Eastern
What's that?
Standard Time. IVRL, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday night, the truck race now being called, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And on Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I'm just going to throw out there. I'm thoroughly excited for Thursday night because I can't wait to watch you guys race around Daytona in those ARCA cars.
And try to baby it and not give the tip.
My gosh.
Do not listen to Randy Pepper this week. Do not give anybody the tip. If you give somebody the tip, they're going to yell at you.
Hey, with that being said, from everybody here at Ghostfire Media, we hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening.